How many times will this take? We will see. I had my Happy Mooney Monday. I had my psychiatrist appointment today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna record every time I have my psychiatrist appointment as this very friendly reminder that two things can be true at the same time. You can be more than one thing. You can be very, very, very spiritually connected. You can have all of the abilities. You can see and you can sense things. And it's also okay if you're on medication. There's just a lot going on, this spiritual psychosis is like the big word, big phrase, the big buzzword, and I talked a little bit about it. I was real hot on it. What was that, a week ago? Also, like, time isn't linear and send help. It's just one into the, 111, of course, as I look up. I'm still figuring it out. I'm figuring it out, right? There's nothing to figure out, but I'm figuring it out every day. I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at right now had I not taken medication and taken steps to really blend both worlds, the spiritual and the medical world. To me, there is no difference. And so I just find it rather alarming that people that are really in the spiritual field and that's what their careers are, that's their livelihood, are, telling people not to take medication, or when they go into the psych ward for a week and they are diagnosed as bipolar, to not believe it, and yada yada yada. At the end of the day, it's all simply just language, in my opinion. It's my opinion. It's all simply language. And in the Western world, because I believe what I went through was just it's a spiritual emergency, an awakening. It was all connected and tied together. I didn't have another option. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Of course it was for me, but to me, right? When you first are going through everything, I'm I was in a full fucking meltdown. It was to the point where I was either going away in a cop car or my mom was going away in an ambulance. I was not in a relationship at the time. I would, so who stepped in? My parents. Thank God. Thank God. I was not happy. My mother was blocked when I went into Lindner. It's taken, but I am so unbelievably grateful that I just, stayed that course of figuring it out as I went, right? We don't fucking know. I am so different than I was 2 years. 2 years ago, I was on this fucking porch, losing, theoretically, right, to everybody else, losing my mind. I was finding it, though, for me. All those little me's came out, all the glitter and all the color and all the this and all the that and the flowers and I couldn't, 2 years ago, I got fired from multiple things. I couldn't, there was no holding the masculine while I transformed into a fairy just floating around smoking fucking weed all day. I had been so burnt out. I had been so depressed. I had been all of these things. And so when the first awakening happened, it just ripped the top off of everything. And then it was like the feelings that I had never named and the feelings I didn't know I was feeling or how to feel or anything just fucking erupted. Like motherfucking Vesuvius. And I was like, this is great. For the first time in my life, I was telling people to get fucked. And it felt fabulous. I feel like Samantha. It felt really, really wonderful to just start telling people and cutting people out of your life. Like, and I know I talk about it, but it's just like the peace. And you just like, it's just like, oh my fucking God, this is what I was missing because I had you in my life. L-O motherfucking L. Bus. There's a fucking sign. I'm just like rolling with the pauses because I used to be like, I can't pause. How do you think it, like, we don't do anything without co-creation, so come on. Gotta give it some patience, gotta give it some breath, some room, instead of dictating how you want it to come, right? I'm working on it. I mean, I just wouldn't be where I am and where I know I'm going without medication, without the doctors, without the people who really jumped in when shit was not good, you know? And it was like, my parents were so worried that I was going to get taken to a psych ward. And it just, I mean, the whole, like, my life imploded. Guess what? You get to start over at 222. You get to start over. And you get to rebuild from the place you always knew was within you. You always know. Like, it's tiny, even when it's the tiniest voices. It's always in there. She's always talking to you. I know, we ignore her a lot. Of course we do. We don't want to admit to ourselves that we were right from the very first ping. And it's okay. And also what came in today was everything is constantly like, there's a block, there's a this, you need to clear this, you need to do. The only thing you need to do is nothing. The healing comes. To start cracking open that door a little bit, letting that light come in, letting the shadow come out. It gets easier and less scary. And then, like, for me, that's where a lot of the ancestral stuff then comes in, right? Like, you start to get a baseline of you. That was my awakening. That was the manic meltdown. That was psychosis. That was... all of that to me is just a beautiful gift. And and it will come, you know, to life over time. And I also have really had to coach myself, if you will, on that of patience, 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 right? Like, what my vision is not something that gets done in a snap. So leaning into patience, leaning into finding my creativity for the first time since I was like running around Brentwood, New Hampshire, like